People, look east. The time is near of the crowning of the year, shining beyond the frosty weather, bright as sun and moon together. People, look east and sing today. Love, the star, is on the way. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Des Moines. I'm Bill Brock. I use he, his pronouns, and I'm a member of the celebrant team. Our church is located on land that has been the home to various peoples in the last 12,000 years, including at the beginning of European encroachment, the Iowa, Sauk, and Meskwaki. This region was also home during the Pleistocene era to the American cheetah. As we enter this space, the ghosts of humans and other animals past are among us. Let us recommit to understanding the history of this land it occupies and to owning our part in the work of education, reparation, and healing for all species. We are an intergenerational community bound not by creed or canon, but by covenant, articulated in our bond of union. We associate ourselves together for the study and practice of morality and religion, as interpreted by the growing thought and noblest lives of humanity, hoping thereby to prove helpful one to another and to promote truth, righteousness, and love in the world. That bond is reiterated in this covenant's mission, in this congregation's mission, to grow ethically and spiritually, serve justly, and love radically. A special welcome to our visitors today. If you're here with children, please feel free to keep them seated with you or to take advantage of our wee worship space in the back of the auditorium, where you and your child may play with toys and books. We invite children, kindergarten through fourth grade, to go to their classroom downstairs after the time for all ages. We invite fifth through eighth graders to stay after service for discussion and activities about the monthly ministry theme downstairs at 10:45. We invite high schoolers to come back tonight at 6 o'clock for youth group. And a quick announcement, the January Connections Circle readings are now available outside the auditorium. Please silence your cell phones during the service.
Good morning. I'm Heidi Levine, she, her, hers. Please join with me in our chalice lighting words, Love Can Transform the World by Maureen Killoran, that are found in your order of service. Love is the aspiration, the spirit that moves and inspires this faith we share. Rightly understood, love can nurture our spirits and transform the world. May the flame of this chalice honor and embody Please rise and body your spirit as you're able and join in singing our opening hymn, number 235, in the gray hymnal, Deck the Halls.
Deck the hall with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. On we now are gay apparel, la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, la la la
Our story for all ages this morning is Red and Lulu by Matt Tavares. I am going to hold it up for the pictures, so if anybody wants to move closer, they're so amazing. In the front yard of a little house on the branches of a mighty evergreen, there lived a happy pair of cardinals. Come close, come close. Red and Lulu were happy in their tree. They were always safe in its branches. Its shade kept them cool on hot summer days. And its evergreen needles kept them cozy when autumn winds howled. It was the perfect place to live all year round. But their favorite time of year by far was winter. The family would decorate the tree with lights, and sometimes people would gather near and sing.
Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging.
Red and Lulu loved listening to the people sing about their tree. Sometimes they even sang along. One chilly morning, just as the cold months were starting to return again, Red went out to find some breakfast. Lulu stayed behind, tucked in the branches of their tree. And something happened. Something happened. Yeah, he did. When Red returned, he could not believe what he saw. Their tree had moved. It was on its side, strapped to the back of a big truck. Red could hear the sweet sound of Lulu's song coming from inside the tree. And then the truck drove away. Where'd it go? Red chirped frantically, telling Lulu to stay right where she was, telling her that he would be right there. So he's flying above the truck as it gets on the highway. Going over the bridge. Yeah. We're going to spend all morning on this story just for y'all. Red flew as hard as he could for as long as he could, but the truck was just too fast. Before long, Red lost sight of the tree. Still, he kept flying, trying to catch up. Soon he found himself in a strange place, unlike any place he'd ever seen. Here, I'm going to show you. I'll show you. Is he in a city? He's in a city. Look, there's a lion with a ribbon. For days, Red searched everywhere. He was tired and hungry. He wondered if he would ever see Lulu again. Oh, I hope so too. There's snow falling. He's flying. Yeah, exactly. The snow reminded him of Lulu. He missed her so much. He could almost hear the song they loved.
Oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging.
Wait, he could hear the song they loved. Red flew toward the sound. The voices grew louder and louder. And then, did I lose? No, you're still there. Then he turned the corner. What's that? It is a Christmas tree. Red chirped with glee and soared over the singing crowd. See, it's all lit up. He flew right to their favorite branch. He's looking. Lulu, he said. Amid the lights and the snow, The people skating. Red and Lulu were happy in their tree and watched with pride as hundreds of thousands of people marveled at its beauty. But then one day, workers came and took their tree away again. This time, Red and Lulu stayed. They found a new place to make a home in a park surrounded by trees and grass and lots of friends. Now, every year when the air turns cold, Red and Lulu take a special trip. And when the crowd comes to sing, they sit together, snuggled close on a snowy branch and listen.
Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging.
Sometimes they even sing along. The end. The end. In his notes about the history of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, the author writes, "The chosen tree for the Rockefeller Center is almost always a Norway spruce, a type of tree that is not native to the United States. So it is usually not found in a forest, but rather in someone's yard where it has been planted decades ago. When the holiday season is over, the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is donated to Habitat for Humanity, who uses the lumber to support their work building houses for families in need." And now we will sing the children out.
Whatever you say.
Well, that's what it's, I'm. Go in joy, go in peace to meet the day.
Our first reading is adapted from Getting in the Christmas Spirit by UU Minister Reverend Dr. Lynn Unger. The Christmas story is much more than just the birth of a baby in Bethlehem. It is full of characters who each have their own story. It begins first with the story of Mary, who is visited by an angel who not only tells her she will have a baby, but that she will bear the child of God. And if that news isn't surprising enough, Joseph agrees to stay with her after having also been told of the miracle birth to come. Their stories merge, and when Mary is great with child, they travel a great distance to sign themselves onto a government registry. They finally find shelter in a stable full of animals where they soon greet the arrival of the long-awaited birth of Jesus. Announcing the birth of a baby always elicits feelings of excitement, wonder, joy, and love. This is the part of Mary and Joseph's story that is the most relatable, the excitement felt by new parents. As one of our familiar hymns says, "Each night a child is born is a holy night." This reminds us of the universal love we feel for the birth of every child. We honor and celebrate all the lives of the children in our own congregation through dedication services and RE programs led and mentored by loving and caring adult volunteers. Unitarian Universalist theology tells us that we are a part of an interconnected web of creation, related to and in relationship with each thread of creation. We are all connected. The French carol, Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella, beautifully expresses this excitement and wonder. Two shepherdesses, Jeanette and Isabella, excited at finding the baby in the stable, are urged to bring torches. Torches remain a Christmas tradition in Provence, where the carol originated. Each year, to this day, children dress up as shepherds and milkmaids carrying torches and candles to midnight mass while singing this carol.
Another part of the Christmas story is the story of the wise men. The visitors from the east trusted that there was something out there worth looking for and followed a star to find the baby prophesied to be the newly born King of the Jews. These wise men, who didn't really get that this was a totally different kind of king, brought him presents fit for the kind of king they understood, gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And to their credit, they didn't walk off in disgust and bewilderment when what they had sought for so long turned out to be a baby born in a lowly stable, with only the kind of power that babies have, not the power of a future king. They instead faithfully followed a message received from God and journeyed home by a different route, refusing to inform King Herod of the baby's whereabouts. Then there's the fragile King Herod, who upon hearing of Jesus' birth ordered the slaughter of innocents because he couldn't handle the prospect of a threat to his own power. The story, which dares to imagine the nature of the newborn king to be something very different from the despotic Herod, tells us instead about a sort of king who aligns himself with the poor and the outcast, with a power utterly unlike the kind of power that the crowned kings tried to grab and maintain at all costs. Reverend Unger continues, "It's the story of the shepherds, though, that has always been my favorite, partly because I have always found it hilarious. I mean, really, here's these ordinary guys doing the most ordinary things, just out on the job, keeping an eye on what needs to be watched. Their sheep. And suddenly the sky is full of angels. And Luke tells us right in the text that they were terrified. Who wouldn't be? It's all completely absurd and unbelievable, and no one in their right mind would have the faintest idea of how to respond. Any reasonable person would conclude that the sky was falling and hunker down. But these guys, these plain, ordinary guys, get their sheep together and go out to look, I know, I laughed every time I read it, get their sheep together and go out to look for a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes. Think about that for a minute. Swaddling clothes are what everybody in those days wrapped their babies in. It's like saying, you will recognize the sign when you see a baby in a onesie. But these dudes were like, okay, sure, fine, let's go see what they're talking about. This is the true spirit of Christmas. When the Spirit is willing to be amazed and curious and brave enough to say, let's go see, even when the instructions aren't very clear and you don't know the road. So what is your story? What would catch your attention and make you curious enough to go see? The Christmas story is really more than a nativity story. It is a much larger story about the transformational power of love, as depicted in the symbol of a tiny newborn who grows up to become not a powerful king, but a simple poor rabbi who lived and taught the message of unconditional love to all. The man who never intended to found a new religion, but instead to live his life teaching one central message: how to love one another. It is this transformational power that lies inside a defenseless baby, inside you and inside me. Here is the poem, A Gift from God by John Reed. Love can't be described. It has no shape, it has no form. Love is not an object. Love does not conform. Love enters our lives the moment we are born. From the cradle to the grave, love's in everyone. Love burns like a candle that sometimes flickers but never dies. Love may be invisible, although it's right before your eyes. Love can leave you empty, And love can make you whole. Love can make or break you. Love is in your soul. Love is in your heart. Love is in your mind. Love doesn't discriminate. Love is always blind. Love is universal. It encompasses the globe. No matter where you are, love has a language all its own. Love is all around you. There's plenty of love to spare. You cannot see or touch it, but love is everywhere. Love's the greatest power, and yet it is so small. Love's a gift from God to be shared amongst us all.
More than just another gift, more than candles glowing, more than snowy afternoons, crystal breezes blowing, more than singing.
Please join in responsive reading number 664, Give Us the Spirit of the Child, found in the back of the gray hymnal. Please read the italicized portions. Give us the spirit of the child. Give us the child who lives within. The child who receives without reservation. The child who gives without judgment. Give us the child's ears, that we may hear the music of mythical times. Give us the child's faith, that we may be cured of our cynicism.
We strive to accountably dismantle in ourselves and in our institutions racism and other oppressions. This is the work of building a diverse, multicultural, beloved community. This is our journey towards spiritual wholeness. We cannot do this by ourselves. At the same time, no one else can do it for us. It requires individual responsibility and collective action, and it requires our individual and collective time, talent, and treasure. Let there be an offering to support this work, to empower our resolve, to embody our love, to shine the beacon of justice. Contributions to the offering basket go towards First Unitarian Church's general operating budget, which funds our ongoing operations, ministry, programming, social justice work, and so much more. Contributions to our Faith in Action partners by members and friends may be made by scanning the QR code on the back of your order of service. This year's partners are Free Store, which helps provide household items to families recovering from domestic violence and other trauma, and the Iowa Trans Mutual Aid Fund, which financially supports trans, non-binary, and gender-diverse Iowans as they access gender-affirming care.
Let us enter a time for reflection, meditation, and prayer. The following words from Father Austin Fleming offer reflection on the familiar Advent hymn, People Look East. Spirit of the living God, turn our faces to the east to look for your presence. Turn our faces in any and every direction from which you draw near to us. Teach us to look for you in places we would not expect to find you. Teach us to find you in places known so well to us that we now fail to see you there. Help us to see you in every guest we entertain. Let the beauty of a rose, of any bloom, reveal your presence to us. Let every bird who wings across the sky above remind us of the freedom that is ours. Let every star in the heavens be a light in the darkness of our lonely nights. Let us never forget that you are love and that those who abide in love abide in you. Teach us to look east, sweet mystery, and north and south and west, that we might find you in every place we look, including within ourselves.
A church is not a building, but a community. As a community of human hands and human hearts, we come together to share our laughter and our tears, and to bear witness and minister to one another as we struggle with life's sorrows and celebrate life's joys. Mary Ellen Miller had shoulder replacement surgery this past Tuesday. She reports the surgery went well. She is back home with a friend staying to help her. Cards wishing her a speedy recovery and care are welcome, and I will have one out at the pastoral care table after the service. Anne Mowry's second procedure to treat her essential tremor went well this past week, though she found she definitely needs to give herself time for rest and recovery. She has appreciated the cards and check-ins from church friends. We now invite you to share the names of people you are holding in your hearts. You may speak them aloud or type them into the chat. May the light of our community shine on the broken places of the world. May the work of our hands and hearts support, aid, and comfort all those who hunger or thirst for food or water, justice or freedom. May we never look away when we are needed. May those who are grieving be comforted. May those who are tired find rest. May the broken places be healed. May those who are filled with joy and laughter be abundant.
We light 3 candles, one for the joys and sorrows shared aloud, one for those shared in writing, and one for those held silently among us. All of these we hold in our hearts for a moment of silence.
Our next reading is excerpts from Living by Love by Reverend Amy Zucker Morgenstern. You don't have to be Christian to admire this ancient and beautiful religion and wish to learn from its wisdom. And that wisdom has a simple core: above all else, before all else, shining out through all the accretions of 20 centuries, is the central teaching of Jesus. Whatever we do, we should be motivated by love and act in love. What might it look like when we are motivated solely by love? Our Universalist forebears sought to answer that question. They, like all the people sitting in Calvinist congregations in the early decades of US history, heard week after week that most of us are headed for punishment, doomed to hell, and deserving of it. There is indeed a tension in religion that I think this doctrine was trying to address. A tension between love and justice. Will good be rewarded and evil punished? It sure doesn't look like that gets sorted out in this life. Instead, as it says in the book of Ecclesiastes, the rain falls on the good and bad alike, and the sun shines on us all. Maybe a reasonable outrage at this failure of justice led to the invention of hell as a place where things would finally be fair. However, early Universalists uninvented hell. They put love first. They believed that God loves us and would not condemn us to eternal punishment. They believed that we should do what is right, not out of fear of punishment, but rather out of unconditional love, such as one feels for a newborn baby. The love of God and the love of each other, that is Jesus' teaching. Right there in our Universalist ancestors who describe that love embraces us all, both the good and the evildoers. According to them, hell does exist, but only in this world. We make our own heaven and hell, and we make other people's too.
Duro Farrar, the music director at First Unitarian Church of Portland, Oregon, writes, I believe that every person is created in the image of God, born a replica of divinity. Some people call it the God within. Others refer to it as inherent worth and dignity of every person. Whatever words make sense to us, we all have it. We invoke the spirit of it for ourselves and for others when we see any number of injustices occurring. But when do we ever turn it back on ourselves and question our own habits of squandering our divinity and wasting our capacity to be holy? I'm not necessarily talking about the big gesture stuff, like rallying against white supremacy or tutoring underprivileged children. I'm talking about how we behave in committee meetings, or how we respond to change we don't like, or how we think and talk about those with values different from our own. Living up to my sacred identity is hard. It means confessing that I have prioritized my own happiness at the expense of others. It means recognizing that my perspective is no more important than anyone else's. It means being good to those I don't think deserve it. It means remembering that every time I fail to choose grace or goodness or peace, I am thoughtlessly squandering my divinity. Here is my prayer. That which is in us and all around us, and which constantly draws us to our holiest selves, please never stop. Even in those tiny moments when I feel emboldened by my own righteousness, bring me back to godliness and grace. Transform my way of being so that I will see the heart, humanity, and divinity in all and respond in kind. In today's chaotic climate of division, hate, and violence, What the world needs now is not just love, but more love. Retired conservative Judge Michael Ludig spoke recently about our country's current political state of affairs and said the country has lost its moral compass. He predicts it will take decades to repair the damage done to our democracy, but even he remains hopeful. The Christmas story offers unexpected hope for renewal and transformation in uncertain future. It reminds us each year that the lesson and power of unconditional love needed to transform the world lives inside each of us. More love, the heavens are blessing. More love, the angels are calling. We'll plant it and sow it and every day grow it. The angels are calling more love. This is the text of the choir's next song, More Love by Kevin Siegfried. Now you can stand, Karen. Winter Solstice by Rebecca Ann Parker. Perhaps for a moment, the typewriters will stop clicking, the wheels stop rolling, the computers desist from computing. And a hush will fall over the city for an instant in the stillness. The chiming of the celestial spheres will be heard as Earth hangs poised in the crystalline darkness and then gracefully tilts. Let there be a season when holiness is heard and the splendor of living is revealed. Stunned to stillness by beauty, we remember who we are and why we are here. There are inexplicable mysteries. We are not alone. In the universe, there moves a wild one whose gestures alter Earth's axis toward love. In the immense darkness, everything spins with joy. The cosmos enfolds us. We are caught in a web of starts, cradled in a swaying embrace, rocked by the holy night, babes of the universe. Let this be the time we wake to life, like spring wakes in the moment of winter solstice. Begin your transformation this Christmas by reaching out in love to your family, a friend, or a stranger. You will find more peace and joy than you ever expected. Something's moving deep in my heart. Chains of hatred are breaking apart. Love will show us how to make a new start. Oh Lord, glory, hallelujah. Love is going to set us free. closing hymn, please rise in body or spirit to sing hymn number 255, There's a Star in the East.
Please join me in reciting our chalice extinguishing words. As we extinguish the chalice, may we carry in our hearts the warmth of its flame and the light of its glow, and transform the world with love.
Cast off these old bones. I am spirit. I can fly into your kind eyes. Our bodies have no purpose except communicating love. We open our hearts. There are treasures buried here. Earth and sky are one, just like you and I. A great wild love joins us together. Earth and sky, you and I. Let us be this love, like wind in the trees, blowing where it will. The service has ended. Go in peace. Go in love.